Ladies and gentlemen, the problem with coming last is that most of the things which you have thought of saying is already gets covered. So if I repeat myself, I'm not to be blamed. I first of all congratulate Mr. Rakesh Jain and Preeti Gupta for writing such a wonderful book. And I really enjoyed it very thoroughly. And find the book to be very comprehensive in every aspect. This book is a lucid representation of the thoughts of a successful entrepreneur, teacher, guru, do-gooder, self-achiever, wealth manager, advisor, great friend, lastly but not the least, a chartered accountant of repute. Now, out of the things, I'm sure that one of you will be able to identify yourself with something or the other. I think this young girl is saying yes. Having known him for last 4 years, one is surprised as to how much a man can influence the life of people around him. Not only that, it has now come to his mind to pass on his knowledge, his experience that he has gained over the last 4 decades and more to the people at large for whom he has written this book. They can be entrepreneurs, teachers, students, CEOs, directors, professionals, and businessmen. I'm sure when the reader puts the book down, he will be a much wiser person. I have taken a few of these books and given to my family, my clients, and staff to read this book. But I have told them not to read more than one chapter at a time. If you read more than one chapter at a time, you need to digest what he has written. This will help the reader get the benefit of his life, in his life, as a cow who chews the cud and regurgitates the food to make it more beneficial. Highly important that each chapter should be read with taking time, because it is the, जिसे कहते हैं ना, निचोड़ है जिंदगी का, इसमें उस जिंदगी का निचोड़ है. What do we look for when we read a book? When you invest time in reading a book, you look for content, you look for language, and in non-fiction, you look for increasing your knowledge. I have read the book and found that amongst the other qualities, Mr. Rakesh Jain is a very good writer. I would like you to try to write sometime to write a chapter. I try to write a sentence, I write a lot of fiction. I read a lot of fiction, maybe one book in a week. And sometimes I feel like, why can't I write it? And I sit down and I can't go past a sentence. I would like you to try it someday to write one chapter. It is not that what you know, it is how you present it. Completing a book is a very huge project, and after working for 10 to 12 hours, I have been actually associated with him for the last 9 months. And I used to see that after working for 10 to 12 hours, he would take the draft which he had dictated to in the morning to his dedicated person, Mr. Prashar. He used to take this draft to his house, and in the morning, if you by chance see him, he has the manuscript ready after duly correcting it. So that is the kind of effort which he used to put, and I can see Mrs. Prerna Jain laughing away to glory because probably this is the truth, what I am saying. Mr. Jain has given taglines at the back of the book. I think this is his habit to give summaries, because after every chapter there is a summary. And while I was just going through the book again today, I saw all his taglines, which were the very important things, gist of the book he had written at the back of the book itself. But out of all of them, I like the one which he's written, lack of reviews leads to complacency. How very well said. Be it your own life, be it you are a leader of the community, society, RWA, or on any other organization, I find that the work in your area of vision in the organization you serve gets neglected and work stops on account of the people around you become complacent. It is statements and taglines like this with live and experience examples that make this book very interesting. He has given live examples, he has given taglines, so it's very easy to understand, remember those taglines. Mr. Jain has put 40 years of experience in this 323-page book in a very easy manner. During the making of this book, I suggested to him to use the language which we normally read. Like my first book when I was 20 years old, I read was by Dale Carnegie, How to Influence People and Make Friends. I said, why don't you write something like that? He says, no, I want to write what people will understand it. I want to write it in my language so that the people can understand it very easily. So he has written that book in the language which you and I use on day-to-day basis, and I'm not going to open the dictionary or anything else, or maybe trying to see the synonyms, etc. So this book is on a the language which we use on day-to-day basis, and so it is very easily readable and really and you can have learning and you can enjoy it also. It is meant for a student. A student can be anybody. It can be a young child. It can be a 60-year-old like me. We are students. So I think that you have to use this book as a student, and you will enjoy and you will get the benefit of it much, much more. I can see that after maybe all the 3 lectures, I can look at my wife and I think that she started the book, but now I think she'll complete it. So she's got a homework now. I wish Mr. Rakeshjian all the best in life, and I wish that this book reaches to all corners of the world, since even if one takes one aspect of learning, he will be on the path to success. I feel that this is a misnomer. The name which he has given, Leaders and Ladders, Pathways to Organization Building. This book is much more. This book will help a person become a better person, and as I said, anywhere, whether he is a member of the RWA or he is in a society, this will help him become a much better person, and it is just a matter of inculcating those principles or those experiences which one has read. Having seen Mr. Rakeshjian spend the last months on this book, since my meeting with him every week, the amount of time and dedication he has spent on this book, and without waiting for commercial success, I'm sure this book will be a great success, and I am already looking forward to his next book in spite of his various occupations. Thank you.